Hey friends, welcome to Shy's Heart and Soul, where compassion is the heart, plants are the foundation, and freedom is the soul. So this video feels really vulnerable to share, but it's been on my heart for a while now, and I know it's time to finally open up. It's not going to be some big announcement or no longer vegan video, but it does feel like a new chapter, one that's been quietly unfolding inside of me. For the last decade, veganism has been my whole identity. It's what I've built my life and even my brand around. But somewhere along the way, I kind of lost sight of who I really am. Especially now as a mom, I've realized how much I don't want my kids to grow up watching me stress over every tiny ingredient or obsess whether something might have traces of milk or egg. I want them to see food as nourishment, not rules. I still 100% believe in the power of plants. I still believe in living compassionately. Those rules will always be at the core of who I am. But I just can't pour all my energy into chasing this idea of perfection anymore. Not when that energy could be going into my family or just simply living. This isn't about giving up my beliefs. It's about letting go of the guilt, the constant label checking, the fear of just slipping up. It's about trusting that choosing plants most of the time is still making a difference, and that living 95% vegan with freedom is so much better than walking away entirely because I couldn't live up to this impossible standard. I honestly don't even feel like I should have to make a video like this.
But the truth is, the vegan community can feel so intense sometimes.
That pressure to fit in this perfect little box is one of the biggest reasons I don't want the label anymore. So I am still plant-based, I'm still rooted in compassion. I'm just giving myself permission to be human too. And one of the hardest parts of this whole shift has been figuring out how to hold on to my compassion for animals without feeling like I need a label to basically prove it. And the truth is, I'll always care deeply about the animals. That part of me hasn't changed, and I doubt it ever will. But I have realized I don't have to scream it from the rooftops or make every choice out of guilt to just make a difference. I truly believe that gentle conversations, small choices, and just living by example can create just as much impact, maybe even more, than shame or perfection ever could. I'll still speak up for the animals. I'll still share plant-based meals. But I'm choosing to do it from a place of love and not fear. So another big part of this shift has been learning to trust my intuition as a mom, even when it doesn't fit into the perfect little box that I used to live in. And right now my son does have an egg allergy, so naturally I'm going to be avoiding eggs in our home for him and I. But at some point we'll most likely trial egg again. And if he does outgrow his egg allergy, I want to leave space for him to explore food without fear or restriction, and without projecting my own beliefs onto him. Because at the end of the day, my biggest hope is that my kids grow up making kind, intentional choices, not out of guilt or pressure, but from a place of love. This isn't the end of my journey, it's basically a rebirth. I'm finally letting go of labels, perfection, and judgment. And I'm stepping into something that feels more aligned personally with just my heart. I'm calling it heart-based living. I'm still figuring it out as I go, but I'm excited to share this journey. One that's rooted in plants, compassion, and just showing up imperfectly, but always with so much love. So if you're still here, thank you so much for just being on this journey with me. I'm creating a space where compassion is so much better than perfection, where we can live with kindness, nourish ourselves and our families, and just trust that even small choices made with love are honestly enough. Now let's really get into why I'm basically letting go of this vegan label. So for almost 10 years now, I've lived a vegan lifestyle, and it's something that truly shaped who I am. But lately, something kind of has been shifting inside of me. I'm still deeply passionate about living a plant-based life. That hasn't changed. But I want to let go of the vegan label. Not because my beliefs have changed, but because I'm finally ready to just reconnect with who I really am underneath that label. This isn't a no longer vegan video, it's a rebirth, a journey just back to myself. When I first went vegan, it felt like I found the missing piece of myself. It aligned with everything I believed in, and compassion, and kindness, health, and just doing less harm in the world. But what started as a choice from my heart slowly just became my whole identity. I didn't just eat vegan, I became Shyly the vegan. And somewhere along the way, I forgot who I actually was underneath that. And becoming a mom also changes you in ways you'd never expect. Becoming a mom made me question everything. Not just what I want to teach my kids, but who I want to be as a person. I personally want my kids to grow up making compassionate choices, but I never want them to feel like boxed in to labels like I did. I want them to listen to their bodies. I want them to eat with joy, not fear. And if I want to raise them that way, I need to lead by example. And honestly, trying to be the perfect vegan is so freaking exhausting. The constant label reading, the hours researching brands, emailing companies to ask if something might have traces of milk or egg. It honestly consumes so much of my mental energy that I could be pouring into my family or just into simply living. And I know it came from a place of compassion, but I just can't ignore how much it was stealing from me. And when I went to school to become a holistic nutritionist, I learned so much about the power of plants. But after I graduated, I totally hit this wall. How was I supposed to guide others to live a balanced, intuitive life when I myself was still trapped in this rigid mindset? I don't know. I don't believe in restriction. I don't believe in food rules. But I realized I was preaching one thing while living another. So letting go of the vegan label feels like, like this missing piece, not just for my own journey, but for how I want to show up as a holistic nutritionist too. So heart-based living is still deeply rooted in compassion for the animals, the planet, and ourselves, but it's also about freedom. It's about making kind, intentional choices without letting perfection get in the way. It's about choosing plants without fear. It's about nourishing our bodies without shame. It's about compassion over perfection. And I know this video might upset some people, especially in the vegan community, but if the pressure to be perfect is keeping people from even trying to live more compassionately, then maybe the problem was never the lifestyle, it was the label. So I'm still eating plant-based, I'm still choosing kindness, I'm just finally giving myself permission to be imperfectly me. This whole journey just feels like I'm finally coming home to myself. Letting go of the vegan label isn't about losing who I am, it's about finding who I've always been underneath it. So if this message resonates with you, if you're craving a life with more compassion, more freedom, and just less perfection, then you're honestly in the right place. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, or just let me know if this message landed in your heart the way that it's been living in mine. So thank you so much for being here, and just thank you for seeing me. And welcome to Shy's Heart and Soul, where compassion is the heart, plants are the foundation, and freedom is the soul.